welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, Season 10. It's been 10 seasons of empowering small businesses such as yourselves and hand-holding and guiding you in your growth journey. I'm Sunanda Jaiseelan. On the show tonight, we're bringing you highlights of our Leaders of Tomorrow Town Hall, a series of pan-India roadshows that we do to help us connect better with entrepreneurs such as yourselves. Tonight, highlights from our Nagpur Town Hall. Rohit V. Nair, Managing Partner West Zone, Startup Banking, IDFC First Bank. Ranjit Dhani, Co-founder Think FinServe Private Limited. In part 1, we are speaking with an expert from the startup banking space, giving us a deep dive. Also, on the show tonight, we're talking all things effective personal finance and credit management with our expert from the personal finance space.
ET Now, Leaders of Tomorrow, thank you very much for having us here. It's an absolute pleasure to collaborate with you. Startup, apart from being the most important buzzword and also attracting a whole lot of talent across the country, is making a huge impact on the Indian economy. So what you see on the screen just now should make you feel extremely proud. 2010, I'd like to jog your memory back. So we had just 5,000 startups and we were just struggling in terms of wanting to give this particular new set of businesses some wings. 2014 saw only 10,000 startups in the country. And look at what we have today. And I think our chest should swell with pride, given the fact that we have 80,000 and plus startups which are there in the country today. 40,000 of those startups are very much in the own state of Maharashtra. And you have to be extremely proud because we have 2,000 and counting startups in the city of Nagpur. If you look to your left or to my left, we have 105 unicorns in the country today with a total valuation of almost close around $340 billion. We have another 100 soonicorns, the jargon which are used for soon to becoming unicorns. We have at least another 100 in the offing just now. And we should all be extremely proud that we currently stand at number 3rd in the world when it comes to the ecosystem. After US and China. And 2025, we are looking at least close to around 250 unicorns to be emerging in the country. Notwithstanding, please take a look at it. We have 30 to 40 startups which are getting registered on a daily basis. So this is the kind of impact startups as businesses making in the country today. The kind of talent cities like this are actually throwing up is definitely one of the best in the country. And we also have the commercials and the OPEX, which is very much economical for the startup businesses. And this strikes the right balance between growth and expansion for these startups. The names to reckon with, these are our very own startups who have made a name for themselves in the Indian market. Now, IDFC Bank per se, IDFC First Bank per se, we are nothing short of a startup ourselves. So we have been into existence only for the last 3.5 years, and we have been spearheaded by one of the finest leaders we have in the industry, Mr. Vaidyanathan. Our challenges is something that we fought with, and we have been really, good in terms of creating the right growth path for the bank. So, to build a world-class bank in India, guided by ethics and customer-first values, powered by technology, and be a force for social good. Our mission, we want to touch the lives of millions of Indians in a positive way by providing high-quality banking products and services to them using contemporary technologies. Brand promises, I've been seeing it now for the last 5 minutes since the screen has been playing, and our very own ambassador, Mr. Bachchan, has always been saying, it's always you first. We have been disruptors of sorts in the market. We've been seeing age-old ways of banking, and with all due respect to all the banks in the country today. So we thought one of the places where we can make a difference is tweaking certain product sets which have always been there in the country. One such attempt, one such disruption that we've made is in the savings account, because we are talking about monthly credits of interest into your accounts. We're also talking about interest rates which are very, very conducive for our customers, keeping in mind a brand promise, which is always you first. What you all should know is the total amount of savings which is currently available in the Indian market. I'm just talking about the savings account is almost close to around 40 lakh crores, which is there, out of which close to around 35 lakh crores lies in banks, which is giving you interest rates of 3.5% to 4%, and that too on a quarterly basis. So you see what is the kind of opportunity we have created for ourselves. So that is one. The second disruption that we have done is on the credit card bit. So on the credit cards, as you can see, our dynamic interest rates are as low as 9%. We started at 9%. We are talking about very high interest rates on credit card these days, but we made this change. And again, on the credit card, we see that your reward points never expire until you change your mind and you might want to redeem them and use it to your benefit. Certain other disruptions that you can see, we are India's first FASTag with 3-in-1 benefits for paying your toll, fuel, and parking. We have our integrated systems, and we have a very intuitive mobile banking system that our customers can benefit. Okay, so what brought us here? What is our foundation? So as you can see, our CASA ratios are 50%. We have grown by almost 67% in CAGR from 2019 to 2022. Our deposit size grew from 13,000 crores to over a lakh of crores over the last 4 years. Our operating income grew by 39% year on year to rupees 3,650 crore in Q1 23. And we also have seen our PAT, which is 470 crores odd in Q1 FY23, and the latest results have been out. We have clocked almost close to around 556 crores. And our net interest margin is pretty strong at 5.89%. So basically, when we talk about startups, we are actually grading them into 3. One is the early stage, we have the growth stage, and then we have the mature stage. Largely, as a bank, we are focusing on the early stage and the growth stage. We are in the process of launching this credit card. This credit card is called a step-up credit card. So, of course, it's an FD-backed credit card, and you put 100 rupees, you get 100 rupees kind of a limit. So, basis your credit payment history for a period of 6 months, we are doing an incremental of 10% after the 6 months. And then post that in 3 months, with everything goes well with respect to your payment cycle, then we're also looking at increasing it by another 25%. So that's a very interesting product that is getting launched. The structured solutions that we are offering for our startups, we do everything. We have a different division which does it. You come up with a query. We have an entire team who's going to sit with you, understand what this transaction is all about, and they are definitely going to help you get the money in. So, like I said, we strongly believe in being a very integral part of scaling up a startup right from its ideation stage to the early stage and growth stage and thereon. And that's exactly why we have created platforms for startups to thrive. Okay, so product set is this. I'm here around. I've come to the end of my presentation per se, but what I need to tell you is there is a lot to talk about it, but all you need to know is IDFC First Bank is backing all the startups which are there currently in the country today with a platform which no other bank is currently looking at. On that note, thank you very much. It was really nice presenting to you. Thank you.
I'm going to take a quick break on that note. Much more on the other side when we come back. To stay tuned. We are back in just a moment.
Sometimes it's often difficult to calculate the price you pay for not having maintained that credit score. What are those mistakes?
अगर आप चेक इशू कर रहे हैं तो उसको बाउंस मत होने दीजिए. एलिमेंट्री, वेरी एलिमेंट्री, बट वो एक चेक बाउंस आपको 10 साल तक हॉन्ट करेगा. आपका क्रेडिट स्कोर नीचे लेके आएगा. इट कम्स टू क्रेडिट कार्ड्स. अगर आप क्रेडिट कार्ड यूज़ कर रहे हैं और खर्चा कर रहे हैं और आपने अगले महीने पूरा पेमेंट नहीं किया, क्रेडिट स्कोर विल टेक अ डिप.
Welcome back with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. And tonight, we are bringing you effective tips on managing your wealth better. That's with our personal finance guest coming to you live from Nagpur. Listen in.
There is no one-size-fits-all solution, platform, advisor, strategy. It simply doesn't exist. So what I'd like to know is what has worked for you?
We kept on investing in the profession. We kept on, we didn't take any money out for the first almost 10 years. Every penny which was earned was reinvested, either in terms of knowledge, either in terms of infrastructure. Everything which we could get was plowed back in the business, in terms of building systems, in terms of building software, in terms of building offices, and most importantly, that doesn't get enough attention, but knowledge. So because we are in a knowledge-focused industry, we had to keep building on knowledge. So just to give you a context, when our incomes were not even 30,000-40,000 rupees in a year, I understood that मुझे बहुत सारी चीज़ें नहीं समझ रही है when it comes to personal finance. And I was saying that I want to become an expert on personal finance, and those were not the Amazon.in days. I'm talking about Amazon.com days. So we ended up buying books for 2.5 lakh rupees in 2004. मुझे तो लगा था कि जब वो 2.5 लाख रुपए का बिल आएगा क्रेडिट कार्ड का तो मेरे पार्टनर्स मुझे भगा देंगे. Fortunately वो किताबें they liked them, and so investing in the business essentially.
तो सर अगर क्रेडिट कार्ड की बात हो ही रही है, right? There are multiple avenues that an entrepreneur today can leverage, you know, for sake of raising capital, right? There are friends and family money, there's institutional capital by way of angel investors, by way of venture capital funds, private equity firms, right? And there is the credit card, the age-old credit card. And so many times, you know, it is sort of credited with leading one astray. But I don't believe that's true in all scenarios. How do you guide your clients who might face this exact situation?
With our clients, हम लोग उनको बोलते हैं credit card use मत करो, because credit card का, and I was happy to know that IDFC has come out with a different kind of facility. But for everything else, credit card में अगर आप उतना ही खर्चा करो जितना आप अगले महीने भर सकते हैं. अगर वो नहीं कर सकते, so please make sure that you don't spend that money, because जितने का प्रोडक्ट नहीं होगा ना, उससे ज़्यादा 2 गुना 3 गुना आप एक साल में उसका इंटरेस्ट भर चुके रहेंगे. तो आप 1 लाख का खर्चा करेंगे, साल भर में 85% तक इंटरेस्ट जाता है. पेनल्टी, मिनिमम बैलेंस चार्जेस, वो सब करके, सो इट्स क्रेजी. क्रेडिट कार्ड से दूर रहिए. इट विल टेक, आपका बिजनेस तो अलग रह जाएगा, आप सिर्फ चक्की पिसिंग एंड पिसिंग में चले जाएंगे.
सर पर्सनल फाइनेंस को लेके ये बहुत कहा जाता है, देयर इज सो मच इंफॉर्मेशन ओवरलोड, राइट? कि किसकी सुने और किस हद तक सुने, right? And that is very difficult in terms of making sense of that. And at some point, it's very easy to blame others for your decisions, and it's perhaps, you know, more difficult to hold yourself responsible, right? There's a lot of soul searching when it comes to personal finance. So my question here, at what age and stage in one's personal and professional journey should this become top priority? You know, is it when you earn your first paycheck? Is it, for example, when you receive your first inheritance, or when you have a dependent, you know, a child who is fully dependent on your standard of living for their future and their success? You know, this whole concept of jab jago tab savera doesn't really apply when it comes to personal finance.
The word personal finance has a important catch there. Many people keep focusing on the finance part of it, whereas personal finance में person पहले आता है. So the first thing is you should focus on the person. Now, if you can develop that habit, that out of the 100 rupees earned initially, if I can block 20 or 10 or 15 and say that I am only earning 85. If I am getting a salary of 10,000, let me mentally say that I am earning only 8,500. If I can do that at all points in time and keep setting money aside, then that would be a fantastic start. But that doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
It doesn't happen because there is so much advertising going around. Everybody is wanting to take the money out of your pockets. So, hoga kya? So what we ideally do, what we'll let our young clients do is, for the first 3 to 6 months, if they come and ask us, we say We tell them broad principles, but we let them spend their money. And in 6 months' time, they will say, I have earned X amount of money. And then when you ask, how much have you saved? And they will say, no, I haven't saved anything, but I have bought this phone, I have bought this thing, I have bought those clothes, I have bought something for my parents, and all of that. And then starts coming the realization, थोड़ी गलती करेंगे ना, तो ज़्यादा stronger सीखेंगे.
हाथ जलेगा तभी सीखता है आदमी.
तो but if you can live the ideal life, तो day one first paycheck से शुरू कर पाए तो बहुत अच्छा. नहीं तो जब जागो तब सवेरा है ही. बट कितना बड़ा गड्ढा आप कर चुके हैं, उसमें से बच पाएंगे क्या, one doesn't really know. So it depends.
और सर जहाँ तक क्रेडिट स्कोर की बात आती है, राइट, सो आई थिंक समटाइम्स इट्स ऑफन डिफिकल्ट टू कैलकुलेट द प्राइस यू पे for not having maintained that credit score, right? When it comes to perhaps opting for a home loan and looking at the differential in how much you have to spend or what you're eligible for as a result of commonly made mistakes when it comes to maintaining that credit score. What are those mistakes?
See, credit score is something which can stay alive for 10 years. So you make a mistake that will come to haunt you for 10 years later also. So the first and foremost to maintain a good credit score is that अगर आप चेक इशू कर रहे हैं तो उसको बाउंस मत होने दीजिए. एलिमेंट्री, वेरी एलिमेंट्री, बट वो एक चेक बाउंस आपको 10 साल तक हॉन्ट करेगा, आपका क्रेडिट स्कोर नीचे लेके आएगा. इट कम्स टू क्रेडिट कार्ड्स. अगर आप क्रेडिट कार्ड यूज़ कर रहे हैं और खर्चा कर रहे हैं और आपने अगले महीने पूरा पेमेंट नहीं किया, क्रेडिट स्कोर विल टेक अ डिप. एंड क्रेडिट स्कोर आपकी कुंडली है, फाइनेंशियल कुंडली है. तो कोई भी आपको देखेगा तो वो कुंडली से देखेगा कि अच्छा ये है, नहीं देंगे. तो आपको अगला लोन अगर मिलेगा तो क्या होगा, जैसे आई एम वेरी हैप्पी दैट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स मतलब IDFC First Bank is reaching out to entrepreneurs and making such fantastic products available, because in most cases what we observe on the ground is that these people are not don't have access to, and I think Kumar mentioned that bankers are not willing to lend money to startups. तो होता क्या है कि they will end up नागपुर का जो टर्म है हुंडी वाला जो मार्केट है, जहाँ कैश में आप 1%, 2%, 2.5% पर मंथ पे आप पैसा लाते हैं. तो वंस यू गेट इनटू दैट ट्रैप, देयर इज नो टुमारो. आपका धंधा डूबने ही वाला है, आप सर्वाइव ही नहीं कर सकते. सो क्रेडिट कार्ड का अगर आप रिवॉल्विंग क्रेडिट करने लग गए तो आप बिजनेस बंद कीजिए, कुछ भी कीजिए, नौकरी कीजिए, लेकिन वो लोन भरिए, क्योंकि आप उस ट्रैप से बाहर ही नहीं आएंगे.
When it comes to a fresh start, right, in the wake of this pandemic, you've seen job loss, severe salary cuts, right? Double income families become single income families, or in some case, living off of a pension of sorts, right? When it comes to bouncing back, what are the sort of first tangible steps that one takes, not only from a personal finance perspective, but from a personal mindset point of view?
Interesting question. And I would say that if one has spent that lockdown period in investing in yourself, that can really help. So if you were upskilling your skill sets, that can really help. But sometimes one gets stuck that if I was getting X salary or I was doing X level of work, I will not do anything less than that. I think it is important to begin somewhere. Otherwise, so I had a friend, and I had a personal experience, a classmate of mine who lost a job just prior to pandemic, and he was at some 35-40 lakhs package. All our schoolmates, all our classmates were hell-bent कि उसको नौकरी लग जाए, and he kept saying कि नहीं 35 lakhs है, I will take a 30% hike, तो मुझे 45 lakhs 48 lakhs का ही पैकेज होना. And finally to get him to convince कि भाई तू नौकरी पकड़ ले, तो वो पहले 35 पे अटका रहा, पहले 45 था, फिर 35 था, फिर 30 पे आया, फाइनली 25 पे मिला, लेकिन 3 महीने में निकाल दिया. अभी वो then he started at 8 lakhs package and climbed upwards. तो वो if you get stuck that मैं तो इस लेवल का मेरी औकात ये है, मैं इसके नीचे नहीं जाऊंगा, it is going to kill time. It's important to get back into the groove and start climbing all over again. आप एक पहाड़ पे थे, नीचे उतर गए, अब दूसरा पहाड़ चढ़ना है तो डायरेक्टली पैराशूट से नहीं जा पाएंगे, आपको फिर से चढ़ना पड़ेगा.
Well, sir, as they say, it takes time, and time is money. So with that, I bring our personal finance expert session to a close. Sir, thank you so much for the wonderful guidance. I really appreciate it. You've taught us a lot.
Thank you.
Out of time in tonight's conversation. If you have any feedback for us, do let us know. Our details on your screens as we speak. Part 2 of our Leaders of Tomorrow Town Hall series from Nagpur is coming up. Here's a sneak peek.
Give us a sense of what you consider to be some of the sunrise sectors.
Maharashtra itself as a state has a tremendous opportunity in agriculture, right? And I was just talking to our colleagues here, and we realized that Nagpur, is a major belt for a lot of raw materials. So right now we're into animal supplements and feeds. So like soya, maize, millets, cereals. A lot of raw material access in Nagpur is amazing.